Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.
Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We are in here in the Ignite podcast studio with Mr. Anthony Morrison, the owner of Adaya Moving LLC. How are you?
All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. So what you do is in the name of your company, Adaya Moving LLC, but what made you get into a moving company?
Well, I owned a company. I was an owner operator for like 20 years.
Wow,
And,
congratulations.
yeah. Well, I did the coast to coast thing, moving people all over the country. Corporate like big AT&T and stuff like that,
Wow.
Texas Instruments, and then
That's some sensitive stuff.
yeah. I decided to just go out on my own, the experience that I have and the connections. So here I am.
It's funny because I see a lot of accredited businesses, and you all decide to become accredited. You come in here and you find a problem or something that you see that's not done efficiently or right in an industry you were already priorly a part of, but you make it better in your own company.
Yes. We strive to do that.
Yes.
Working locally here in the Richmond area and Chesterfield, a lot of customers noticed that we've only been in business for 5 months, but they moved before and they see the difference between someone like myself coming in with a company that's been used to moving high, respectable CEOs and stuff like that. We treat everybody the same. So whether you're a CEO or you're just getting your first job out of college, we treat everyone the same.
That's awesome.
Golden gloves or whatever you want to call it, white glove.
The white glove service, I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny because a lot of companies, they talk about the white glove service, but it's hard for them to be able to provide that. But I've noticed that companies like yourself, accredited businesses, they really do provide the white glove service for people.
Yes.
And part of how you guys do it is becoming accredited and coming in here to do a podcast.
That's
and
right.
Sending it out to your customers or potential customers.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you notice in your industry that maybe upcoming technology has changed, or that you guys start doing differently to be more efficient?
Well, the communication is a lot easier now. Obviously, with technology, we can reach out to customers and follow up with them a lot faster. If we can get to the customer first, obviously we have a like 70% chance of getting a move. Other than that, it's basically moving is really basically take care of the person's belongings, obviously, prep the house before you go in. And basically when being a mover, you're more like a jack of all trades. Even though you're moving, you may be a babysitter that day because, the lady might be by herself and it's like 4 guys walking in there and you got to keep them calm. And it's a lot of things you have to do with this.
Some people get really nervous and sensitive about their stuff.
Yes, or stressed. Or,
yeah.
Some people say they'd rather go to a funeral than move. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in their defense, I kind of understand that because moving really is stressful.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I would rather go to a funeral.
Me either, but
right?
I've heard it. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that. So.
Wow, that's like next level. You hate moving.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, especially if they hire a company like yourself that makes sure they take care of you. Guys, cross your T's, you dot your I's, and you make sure you take care of the customer the way that you promise that you do. And on top of that, what are some scams that you see common in your industry that you kind of are like telling customers, be careful of this if you do decide to go with someone else?
Yes, I run into that quite often. I put up proposals to customers, and I don't hear back from them, and they probably go to someone else, obviously. And then about 2-3 weeks later, I get a phone call, and it's never good. It's the guys didn't show up, or it's so many scams that they have out there where they'll get a deposit and tell you that you got you on the schedule. Your move comes up, and then they don't show up. And then they call me at Adaya Moving, and then we, obviously we can do it, but it's now we got to charge the customer again for something that they already paid for, and it just makes a bad look on the industry as a whole. So we try to, get out there and get in front of that stuff and give the information that we can to all the customers.
One of the things that I can't stress enough for people is that when accredited businesses number one, decide to be accredited. They're promoting trust in the marketplace. For example, like you're accredited, you're promoting trust in the marketplace.
Right.
You're not going to scam your customers. You're not going to take a deposit and no show on them. Or worse yet, take the deposit, take their stuff, and then it ends up in a crate somewhere, wherever, and they're charging them extra
hold it hostage.
Holding your stuff hostage, basically.
That happens a lot. I try to offer all of my customers binding price lock estimates, so that when we deliver, there's no oh, by the way, you owe us an extra whatever. A lot of movie companies do that as well. You know, it just seems like if the customers feel more at ease if you just say this is the price, and they can deal with that. Then then tell them, oh yeah, this is an estimate. This is just an estimate. And then it's $2,000 or $3,000 more than what they were expecting. So
that's the thing. I can't stress this enough for people, and some people just don't listen, but I can't stress this enough for them. We get a lot of complaints at the BBB, right? And a lot of the complaints that we get are things that we can't do anything about after you've already done business with bad business people. And so one of the reasons why we encourage for them to go to bbb.org is to find accredited businesses like Adaya Moving LLC so that they don't get scammed, so that they don't, worry about a price or an estimate with some gray areas to it that they're like, well, you told me it was going to cost this much. And they're like, well, that was an estimate.
And then they hold everything hostage. It's like, they leave it on the truck. They won't take it off the truck. They just, pull in front of your house and when you give us the money, we'll take it off. And, and then I've had people call the police and blah, blah. Police comes out and they're like, well, that's a civil matter. We can't handle it. As long as the guys have paperwork that you signed, your furniture is just held hostage. You got to pay it. And that's really not good for us to have that out there, especially in the summertime. There's peak season. It happens a lot more often than in the winter time. But
most people move like around spring and summer because the weather is generally nicer.
That and getting kids back into school and stuff like that.
See, I didn't think about the kids. That's true. What are some snags that you guys tend to come across in your industry?
Basically, competition that's selling dreams, I'd say. I call it. Everybody wants to get a good deal, but sometimes when things look too good to be true, that's probably too good to be true. So we do run into that a lot. And we're not going to sell our service short. We charge what we're worth, but sometimes we run into situations where we have to come down in price because there's so many people out there that are not really movers. They're just opportunists, let's put it that way.
I see. That's why I tell people, and Barry, our CEO, tells people all the time, they're like, when you go to bbb.org, you can try shopping for the cheapest price, but the reality is you get what you pay for.
Yes.
Yes. And I can't stress that enough to people how true that actually is. You're better off just making the investment through an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau and knowing that your stuff's going to make it to your place safely. Exactly. As promised.
Right. I think you guys are working it though. You got to keep pushing it because I think customers really need to use the BBB. They need to use you guys because you guys are really their only link to finding customer, vendors and people they need to use. So
I'll give you a great example. This past weekend, my pup just got neutered, right? And I would notice that he was, getting sick. And I said, well, that's not normal right after getting neutered, right? That's a red flag.
Right.
On a Saturday and a Sunday, my vet that I trust is not open for me to take my pup to.
Right.
So I'm left having to go to a emergency vet.
Okay.
I cannot stress enough how much I hate emergency vets. I don't trust them because they extort people for money, more money for the same services because they can. It's an emergency. So for me in that moment, I go to bbb.org and there's not one accredited emergency vet.
Wow.
Why is that the case?
That you would think it would be.
That's bad.
People and their pets. They love their pets. And then that's probably why they do that to you. They know you love your pet. You're going to pay the extra to get whatever they tell you needs to be done. So.
And I will say the emergency vet that I did take my pup to, I took him twice over the weekend. They were amazing. They even called to check up on him the next day, but they need to get accredited.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to call a moving company in the future, and I am moving pretty soon, I'm going to look at bbb.org and I'm going to search Adaya or any other, moving company just to see,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do that?
He's a good questioner.
It's so easy.
It's so
And
easy.
people don't understand. It's so easy.
Information is so easy to get to now. Before I could understand, you could get, tossed for a loop, but now you can find out anywhere.
And what companies don't understand is a lot of people aren't even using Google anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're worried about their Google rating and they're worried about Google this. Well, AI, I do all my research through AI. And when I look up trusted moving company, guess what's going to come up?
What you got?
BBB.org. And all the companies that are accredited.
Yeah,
Because we are the only nonprofit that goes through a vetting process with our accredited businesses because they uphold the values of trust,
Yes.
honesty, respect, and transparency. I mean, our biggest logo is a marketplace that starts with trust.
Right.
So, I mean, ding, ding, ding.
Well, you guys are all good here. Me, everybody in the staff, I can tell you guys do a really good job here.
I tell people all the time, especially the staff, I was like, I can't tell you guys how much you should be appreciative of like Adaya for coming in here, for you, Mr. Morrison, coming in here and talking on the podcast. It is a wealth of knowledge for the customers to be able to hear about you and what you do and how much you care about what you do, because it shows.
Yes.
Not only because you're accredited, because you took the time to talk about yourself and your company to your customers. So now they get to put a face and a voice to the name of the company.
Yeah, Adaya Moving.
There you go. So how can people get in contact with you?
Well, they can call my cell directly, or they can call the office. They can call the office at 804-639-7473, or they can get in touch with me at 540-287-1785. And we have a website also. It's www.adayaprocall.net.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that you put your personal cell phone number in there because no gatekeepers here.
Yeah. You can just call the owner.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that goes for anything. If anything goes wrong out there on the job or anything, customer can call me.
I can't tell you how invaluable that is to be able to provide that to a customer and know that they can call you personally anytime they want to.
Yeah. Anytime. Yep.
Well, anyone that's watching, please make sure to check out Adaya Moving LLC. You can actually find them on their website or bbb.org. And of course, you have Mr. Morrison's personal phone number.
That's right.
So please reach out. If you are watching this on YouTube, it is BBB Central VA. Please make sure to follow us, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment. It helps the algorithm out. And of course, if you're watching and listening on Spotify, please make sure to follow us. Thank you.
Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.